voice like the murmur of water as he told me about a faraway land. A faraway land where the people had a very rare and peculiar ability. Because you see, in this land, the people learned to take their hearts from out inside their chest and hold them out for everyone to see. And as you might imagine, everyone's heart was different. Some hearts were big, some hearts were little. Some hearts were beautiful, some hearts were blemished, some hearts were strong, and some were weak. But for all time, there was never seen in this land a perfect heart. Until one day there was born a boy whose heart, everyone agreed, was perfect. It was as large as a ripe mango, and the red color of rubies. It was so strong it could pump oceans of blood, and through its entire surface there wasn't a scratch or nick. And as this boy grew older, his fame spread throughout the land. And everybody knew that this was the boy with the perfect heart. He kept his heart in a box to keep it from being injured by the world, and he would travel from town to town. And as he arrived at the town, the people would flock to the central square to see this boy take his heart out of the box and hold it before them so they could marvel at it and say, "That is the perfect heart." And so this boy's life went for many years, until one day he came to a town and he was showing his heart, and he heard from the very back of the crowd an old man's voice that cried out, "That is not the perfect heart. I have the perfect heart." The whole crowd turned to look and saw a man holding a small, weather-beaten, wrinkled, leathery heart, and they all began to laugh. So how could this man's tired old heart compare to the marvel that was there before them on a pedestal? But the man insisted. He said, "I have the perfect heart. And here's why. You see, in my heart, there's this hole. That's when I plucked a piece of my heart out and gave it to someone. And they did not return the love. And on the other side of my heart here, you see this leathery little bit of flesh that's been pieced on. That was when somebody else did the same for me. They gave me a part of their heart that I wasn't able to give back. And this jagged hole here that's been filled, that's when I finally found somebody who I could give part of my heart to and receive part of their heart in return. This bruise is where my heart was hit when people wanted to hurt me. And this dirt stain is where it was dragged through the mud when my friends and family deserted me. And above all, this great scar down the middle is when I loved so hard that my heart just burst in two. And I had to take the pieces and put them back together. And the whole crowd fell silent because they saw the truth in this man's words. And the young man, standing up with his full, unblemished heart, saw the truth in them as well and was struck silent. As he sat there, despondent, the old man walked up to him and tore off a piece of his weather-beaten heart and held it out to the young man and said, "Here, this is for you. This is a piece of my heart." And at that point, the young man knew that he had a choice. He could either take his perfect heart, put it back in his box, and travel to the next town, or he could take this tired, old piece of heart from the old man and add it to his own. And as I heard my friend tell me this story, I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back, I think that faraway land might be Ashland High School. And I think Fresh Start might be where we learn to take our hearts out of our chests for everyone to see. I know I certainly saw that last night. I think Mark might be the old man in this story, and I know that each of us are the young man. And just like he did, we each have a choice before us today and every day. We can either take our heart and put it back in the box where it'll be safe, or we can leave it out in the world where it can be hurt and where it can love. My friends, that's a choice that everyone has to make for themselves, but every day that I live, I'm more and more certain that the pain you experience by having your heart out in the open is absolutely worth it for the love that you can give and receive.